Hey, you guys, Cindy here. Happy Friday. And if you're in America, happy Memorial Day weekend. This is literally the kickoff weekend to summertime. And I've got some great things in store for you this summer. So just you wait. It's a great time to meet and mingle with people. But today we're going to talk about and if you're on here and you have questions about dating, relationship, I like to call this Freestyle Fridays with a subject line. So our subject today is 5 ways to know if he's really interested in you. And I would love it if you put a comment below if you've been confused about a guy's interest level, or even intentions with you. Put just, yes, I've been there. Put it in the comment box below. Okay, so I'm gonna start off here. And some of you guys might think that these things might be obvious, but they aren't necessarily. So if you're on my email list, and even if you're not, I would highly suggest getting on my list, because I do send out emails that are informative and educational. You can always find out about events that I'm doing and things that I'm up to as well. So you can go to createyourownluckandlove.com to do that. Okay, so the first way to know, and I talked about this in the email, if he's interested in you, is he might get a little awkward around you. So when you're first, when you go out on the first couple dates, or even longer, it could even be, you've met with each other 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and sometimes he acts a little bit awkward, or he might even say something and even admit that, gosh, I put my foot in my mouth, or he gets a little tongue-tied and fumbles with his words. He starts stammering, he looks down, and even might get flushed with embarrassment. Now, it takes some effort to actually be aware of that. Sometimes women take awkwardness from a man, especially in the beginning, they take it as, offensive, or this is who he really is. And you guys, that's not the case. Typically, if he's a little bit nervous around you, he finds you attractive. He, just like you get butterflies, he might be getting butterflies, and he's trying to say the right thing. So that's the first reason, which leads me to the second reason why you may not know if he's really interested in you. So you might be getting to know this guy, and he doesn't make advances on you physically. So he may not have even tried to kiss you yet. He might, and he might not even be making comments that are remotely flirtatious. And you might be asking, why do they do that? Well, part of the reason is they might actually see you as something that could be a little bit more serious for them. They saw a trait, they see a spark in your personality that they want to get to know. And if it's a man that, that's relatively attractive, or that you find attractive, and has had a past and maybe has had some success in the bedroom with women, he doesn't want to do it that way. He wants to take his time to get to know you. I talk about this a lot with my clients around, moving slower in the beginning to move faster later on. And a lot of times women get confused about their own attractiveness, or, what he's really thinking if he doesn't make a physical advance upon you. Now, I want to let you know that if he does make physical advances upon you, he might be interested in you long term too. It kind of depends on the guy, the type of guy, his past experiences. And, I've known this to be true and have experienced this myself. So that's number 2. The I wanted to make sure that I wrote some notes here so that I didn't get off track, because I do that sometimes. So the third thing, and I think this one's super cute, and this is one that women can get confused around. So, and this is one that women can actually take and run with it. So he might be giving you advice or trying to teach you something. And, you know, sometimes women will take that as an insult to their intelligence, or, you know, you might, as a woman that has, you know, is probably somewhat successful, knows who she is, has, you know, achieved some things in your life, that it might make you feel less than, so to speak. So what I want to share with you around that is that if a man's giving you advice, and men love to naturally teach, or if he's doing that, he's actually showing you that he wants to provide for you in some way. He wants to add value into your life. Hello, thanks for the thumbs up. And let me know if this is helping you guys. So, you know, he'll give you advice, and the best thing to do is not cut him off at the knees, because oftentimes we can be like, oh, I've got this, or I already did it this way. Is to actually be open and receptive, and remember that that advance is showing interest in you and wanting to provide safety for you in your life. So remember that one. This one, I don't know where I'm at here. I think I'm on number 4. So this one is a great one. Is he allows you to influence him. So maybe you eat a little differently than he does, or you do yoga or exercise a little bit more, or you really love to go to salsa dancing. So if he's really interested in you, he will, you know, he might go, oh, I noticed this, you know, new place that does salsa on Thursday night. Let's go. You know, he's allowing you to influence him. Or next thing you know, he wants to take a yoga class with you, or is taking you out to a healthy restaurant because he like healthy food, or he, you know, so those are some ways to know that he's interested in you. So even if he's not making a move, he's, you know, giving you feedback, advice, he's, you know, those are ways to know that he's interested in you. Also, you know, the other thing to take a look at is your relationship progressing? Are you, you know, is he investing a little bit more time together with you and getting to know you? Is he, you know, is he asking you questions? Or, you know, do you feel a progression? Because oftentimes when you're out there dating and getting to know people, there's either a progression or there's not. And it doesn't need to be 0 to 60 progression. It's just gradual. This is another one. You guys, is he confiding in you? Is he opening up himself a little bit on an emotional level? Is he sharing something that even he struggles with? Or, you know, is he getting just the least bit vulnerable with you? Just opening that door. Or is he sharing a win, something that he's really excited about with you? That's an indicator that, you know, one, he's actually looking for a partner. He wants a teammate. He wants somebody that is real to him and is real in his life. And he is, you know, and that could actually be at a later time too. That's a good indicator. But in the early stages, if he's asking your opinion on things, if he's, you know, wanting you to influence his life, it, you know, chances are he's definitely interested. So There's another one that that I find really interesting. Gosh, I've got 2 or 3 more, so I'm going to share a couple more just because I'm feeling generous today. So another one that he may do, and this one can feel counterintuitive. He may be holding back from introducing you to his friends or his family. And, you know, many times women will look at that as an indicator that he's actually not that interested, when in fact it could be the opposite. Maybe he's in a place in his life where he's transitioning, he's actually, you know, getting out of maybe a more party lifestyle into a more serious lifestyle. You know, he's just transitioning in his life, and those old friends may not be aligned with where he's going or even where he's at. And, you know, family can be an interesting thing. Everybody's different when it comes to that, you know, and sometimes family dynamics can be awkward, or, you know, and he may be really trying to take his time to go there with you, or selective about it so that he doesn't scare you off. So, you know, spinning that into, you know, instead of it being a negative, it can actually be a positive. You know, if he's divorced and has children and there's been some stressful family dynamics, you know, that can be the case too. So just keeping some of these things in mind in a positive capacity. So here's another one I'm going to share with you, and I hope this is helpful. Let me know if this is helpful. You have questions, comments for me. This topic can, you know, while we might think we know if somebody's really interested, sometimes it can be quite difficult because of the things I mentioned, or, you know, maybe he pulls back a little bit, which is really natural with a guy that is taking you seriously and is interested in the possibilities. So the next one is, here's the last one. He is acting out for your attention. So he might be acting out in 2 different ways. I just touched on that a second ago. He might be acting out in a sense of being, you know, overly excessive about something that he's doing, or, you know, trying to show you a point, or, you know, he can be overly a little bit overt on something, and it may even feel uncomfortable. You might think, you know, why is he saying this? Why is he doing this? What kind of point is he trying to prove? But it's his way of what we call peacocking, you know, showing you that, you know, he's got some great potential for you. He's trying to act out. He's trying to show you another way, another path, or something really amazing about him. He's really actually trying to impress you. You know, imagine. And it can feel quite the opposite. It can almost be like, you know, you're 2 little kids in the sandbox, and, you know, he's pushing you down because he really likes you and he doesn't know how to actually show you his emotions. I don't know if you guys have ever been there. So there's that piece. Or he could be doing the opposite. He could be acting, you know, a little bit mysterious and aloof, yet, you know, share a lingering glance at you, or, you know, making you guess, which can add to the mystery of, you know, is he really interested or not? And, you know, giving some things to do, ladies, in these circumstances, you know, even if you struggle with being flirtatious, or, you know, smiling, you know, sharing who you are vulnerably, and not really caring, because that's the woman that he's really going to like. And eventually fall in love with, you know, is, and also teasing him a little bit. Like, oh, wow, I mean, you really proved a point there, you know, or even just calling yourself out on something funny that happened to you, or giving him encouragement, because they need to know that, okay, she's being receptive, she's saying yes, but is, you know, is there an open door here if I kiss her? Because he might be holding back for the same, you know, he has uncertainties too. So even by, you know, saying, I mean, gosh, I wouldn't turn you down if we went to that concert down the street. I mean, if a guy is interested, he's probably trying to figure out subtle ways to spend time with you and gauge your interest, as well as, you know, continue to build up the connection. If you're feeling, you know, you get to check in with yourself. Are you feeling tension there? Are you feeling an emotional tension there? And there's, you know, underlying sexual tension. It's there, you can feel it, you can. So the good thing to do around that is be playful, be flirtatious. And if he puts an arm around you, those are good indicators that he's interested, he's progressing, things are moving forward. You being receptive is the thing that he's going to look for. And, you know, my other request from you is to be you and be happy and grateful, as well as authentic. I think, you know, each of us can find so many things in our day to share about that are authentic, that we may or may not want to share. You know, I had a funny thing happen to me yesterday, which I'm not going to share it today, but I will share it on social media because it's funny. But you guys, be you and trust in the process, continue dating through that journey, and allow your heart to be open to love. So I hope this helps. Until Monday, I will be here Monday, even though it's Memorial Day, to share with you some more tips and feedback. Please feel free to put your questions, comments, share this with any woman that you feel could use this feedback or support. I would be really grateful for it. Sending you so much love. Have an amazing day and weekend. Goodbye.